We've talked about the press, we've talked about your media policy. The press, the media has been very irresponsible. They have also been very biased in what they report. But there's still a lot of issues in this country that are not being addressed by the media. Baluchistan in particular is one of them. Why do you think Baluchistan is being kept away from the rest of the country? As in, why are the people of this country not aware of what's really going on there? Why is the media not talking about it? Why is it under wraps?
Yeah, I think you have to realize that commercial media is, after all, commercial, and they will put up programs that sell ads. They're out for ratings. So that's why you see all these talk shows where politicians come and make complete fools of themselves. But they're very entertaining. People like to watch them. They can sell a lot of ad time. Baluchistan, on the other hand, is a very serious, very dangerous, very crucial problem. But it doesn't sell ad time. So the media is not too worried about it. Also, as you were mentioning, it's a place where the media, or any for that matter, Pakistani cannot move about freely these days. So there is that physical barrier to coverage, where if media is unable to go in there and cover it, free from the threat of kidnapping or whatever. And that's a reflection, unfortunately, a sad reflection of how bad things have become. So I think the answer is that the media is perhaps not ignoring Baluchistan as some kind of a grand plot or deliberate strategy. It's just, it's something that is not interfering with their day-to-day work. They continue to make their money out of the ads and programs they show. And it's something that they are not able to cover because it's just dangerous going out there. So it gets ignored.
I disagree with the fact that it is not accessible to the media. The media is, journalism is the job of the media to go in places which are at high risk and actually in danger and report what is actually going on or report the truth. In Baluchistan, however, the sentiments of the Baluchis and the people, the locals there, are very different, and it's not somehow being portrayed that way. The rest of Pakistan does not realize that one of the province hates the rest of the country. The people there hate Pakistan. They don't want to be a part of Pakistan, and so we've got one arm, our right arm, which can be very useful to us. Which can be very, very useful to us if we manage it correctly. That province alone can run the entire country, economically.
Yes,
and that arm of ours has gangrene in it, and we're not doing anything about it. We're not being told.
Yeah, we're not being told. So why do you? You've been to Baluchistan and covered it. I'll become the interviewer for a minute. So why do you think the media is not covering it?
Well, it's obviously political. It's obviously because there's an agenda that they don't want to talk about. It's probably because there are external influences like the US maybe that has an involvement in this, and the governments have been for the last few years sort of playing a game in Baluchistan. We've seen that when Musharraf was around. We've seen that when Bukti was killed. So obviously all this anarchy there is being created, politically created. And if it is being politically created, they have a reason, they have an agenda, and whatever it is, they don't want the public to know.
Yeah, that's interesting what you say, and it's certainly not out of the realm of the possible that the media is being kept out by agencies or whatever. It's not out of the realm of the possible. And it could be true. It could be that they have instructions not to cover it, and it's a taboo subject. It's possible. Anything is possible in Pakistan these days. But what I want to tell you is that, again, even the situation in Baluchistan comes down, ultimately, really ultimately, everything that goes wrong or has gone wrong comes down to poor political leadership. And if you have good political people in government who, good people, let's say, if you have good people in politics, let's put it that way, who understand, who feel, who care, who have a sense of patriotism and are not in it just to fill their pockets and go home at night and not care about what happens to the rest of the country. These problems would not have happened in the first place. Baluchistan is a terribly complicated issue. It's not possible for you and me to unravel it and figure out a solution right now. It's something that will need a lot of work with everyone sitting down together to figure out, assuming we can remove these politicians, assuming we can get into power and we bring good people into power and into parliament and into government, then we have to sit down with everyone, including the army, including the agencies, and we have to say, look, this has to be solved. We have to find a solution to this. We have to see why these people are so estranged. Why are they hating us? What is going on? People just want to live their lives. People, do things or resort to violence or resort to crimes because something forces them to do it. Usually it's injustice. So if you get down and understand where this injustice is coming from, where there has to be a reason why they are disenchanted with Pakistan. Let's understand it. Let's see what we can do to remove it. There has to be something short of forming a new state or separating from secession or something. There has to be something that we
well, they have been, the people of Baluchistan have been deprived of basic resources. When I was there right now, I saw that they have load shedding of gas, natural gas. Now natural gas is something that is found in Baluchistan, supplied to the rest of the country. And in Baluchistan it gets really, really cold. I mean, it's not fair for you to not have your geyser working or your stove working.
That's true.
And if I'm providing it to the rest of the country, but my family is crying about it, I'm going to be upset.
Unhappy, absolutely. Well, these are the sort of issues that have to be looked at and understood. And in fact, the Constitution is very clear about a lot of these issues. And it does give the rights, or certainly a lot of right, to provinces where these resources are located. And it makes sense, it's just fair, it's just logical, that if you are the producer of a resource and the owner of it, that you get the first benefit of that resource. So certainly someone has not done things right, and if the central government has been failing to do this, then it's time to set it right and say, okay, we need to change this policy, and you people in Baluchistan, because it's being produced there, have to get this gas or this electricity or this coal or whatever first, and then we're going to ship it out to the rest of the country. So that makes sense, that's logical.